Seem nothing even matters. Seem nothing even.
I'm really, really excited. She is such an amazing person. I'm so happy I got to meet her personally. And not only that, she's an amazing mother, a wife. She does Sisterlocks. She's a Lactician, and she mentors and tutors about it on her page. Hey!
Hello,
How
hello.
are
How are
you?
you?
I thank you so much. I know
Good, good.
you had to get your beauty rest before you join. So I really appreciate this. I really do.
No problem, no problem.
Thank
I
you.
was not even really resting well because I'm like, you how you don't want to miss your alarm. So I'm
Yes.
like,
Yeah.
so it's all good. It's all good.
I get it. I understand. So before we start, I always like to say a prayer. So if you don't mind, just want to say a quick prayer, and then we can get started with everything.
No
Okay, so
problem.
let's bow our heads. Lord, I just thank you for this day. I thank you for waking us up this morning. I thank you for my family and friends, Lord. I thank you for blessing them as well. Continue to bless them, Lord. Thank you, Lord, for Rochelle as well. Thank you for allowing me to be able to meet such a beautiful person. And Lord, continue to bless her and her family as well. I thank you. I thank you for everything. I pray that we have a wonderful week ahead of us. I pray that something miraculous will happen to us this week, Lord. In Jesus' name, I pray, amen. All right. So, like I said, thank you. And you are not here, but you're still here. And I appreciate that. So, can you tell us about yourself?
Hello, everyone. So my name is Rochelle, and I'm a certified lactician. Currently, I have been doing Sisterlocks for 4 years. I'm married to a wonderful husband, Sean, and we have two boys, Sean and Noah. We have pretty much been living on the continent of Africa now for a little over a year.
Wow.
And it has just been a wonderful journey, homeschooling and just having life just lead you pretty much.
Yes, yes. and and it's so crazy because when I remember the last time I talked to you, you were saying that you were moving to California. So that
Correct.
was a drastic change. And I'm not necessarily saying drastic, but for a Buffalo, from being from Buffalo,
Yes,
that's like
yes.
drastic for us. Like, but how is it though?
So the move from Buffalo to California was um, still pretty much the same for me because I traveled back and forth to still do hair in
Yes,
Buffalo.
yes,
So it was just pretty much like living in two different locations.
yes.
It was because I enjoyed doing Sister Lock so much, I just couldn't really part. So I had to make it work to where I can still do here in California, still do here in Buffalo.
Yes.
So it was hard to make the transition, from California to the continent because it was like leaving another family.
Yes, yes.
So
I can imagine. I can imagine because like it's hard just sometimes for people to move from one state to the next. So just moving across the country, I can. But the crazy thing is, and I'll get into it later. But I really love watching your videos because of that.
thank you.
Like that's one of the reasons why I enjoy it. But we're gonna get into that a little
Okay.
later. But I wanted to know how important is it to take care of yourself? How important is it to take care of oneself?
So I think it is imperative. We grow up, especially as women, learning how to be a girl, a woman. We play house and we play school and we mimic the influential women that are around us or in our life, and we inspire to be them.
Yes.
Whether they come with good traits or bad, because they are the influencer in our life, that's who we strive to be. And
Mm-hmm.
so I realized, so many of us have grew up, in multiple situations, some good, some bad, some manageable. But whatever the situation is, once you are an adult, you are responsible for you, regardless of, pretty much how you've come up. And
Yes.
so I've learned that we've had to pretty much reteach ourselves, how to learn how to love and take care of ourselves. We're so used to going and doing and doing.
Mm-hmm.
That is why I really do affirmations of self care, to promote loving yourself and having a confidence. A lot of people, when you look at someone with locks, you're just like, oh, wow, those are beautiful. Those look nice. But not realizing the confidence that it takes to even be able to rock a crown, because there's so many phases that you're going to go through that, some days you may want to wear a hat because you're just not happy with it, but
Yeah.
understanding the journey. And
Yeah.
just as Sister Lots has a journey, so does our life. So you have to take care of it. You only get one shot at it. And
Yes.
so, just taking care of you, speaking to you, looking in the mirror, and literally, I'm not saying, say this. I'm saying literally go to a mirror, look at it, look at yourself, and speak to yourself. I am beautiful. I am fierce. I am royalty.
Yeah.
Whatever positive, affirmations you want to use, because you have to start pouring back into you. And then if you have others that are pouring into you, of course, great. But if no one else does, you take care of you first. Charity begins at home, and the
Yeah.
temple is home.
Yes. And I agree with that. I feel like you said, you only get one. It's only one of you. And when everybody has gone, whether it's your parents, whether it's your children, whether it's your friends, family, or whatever, you're still left with you at the end and God, for real, but it's just you. So, and when the
Mm-hmm.
party's over, like, you can't, sometimes they won't be there for you like you need them to be, so you have
That's
to make
true.
sure that you're there for yourself. So I agree.
That's
And to
true.
me, like, the mental is top priority. Physical to me
Yes,
is
yes.
last, but that spiritual, that mental and that spiritual, those top are the top two, but physical is in the top three for me as far as taking care of myself. Because you still want to feel, you
Definitely.
want to look healthy, you want to feel healthy. Like, even,
Absolutely.
you know what I mean? So if you're like, if you're at peace in your mind, but then on the outside you're not feeling so good, you want to, get that together too. So I definitely feel that, because we do, us as women, we take on a lot. We
A
definitely
lot.
take on a
A
lot.
lot.
So we definitely
We do.
definitely have to pour into ourselves. I like that. I do. And so how did you get into being a lactician?
So for years, my husband has always said, I like it when you wear your hair natural, kind of thing. But when you're young and you're kind of in this phase of how you want to look and all these different hairstyles and stand up with the trends, you just kind of, you do the weeds, you do the wigs. I never personally did wigs, but the weeds and the sewings and things like that.
Yeah.
And so we took a trip to Costa Rica, and I just remember looking at the people and just kind of feeling free, if you will.
Yes.
It was probably the first trip that we took that I just really felt really liberated and just kind of like, okay. So when we came home, I just came downstairs and I said, I think I'm ready to go natural. So we went upstairs, we got the clippers, we cut it all off, and
Yes.
6 months later, I had took my son to swim, and someone had Sisterlocks, and I thought they would twist, so I inquired about them, and I think it was within 6 weeks I was getting my Sisterlocks. I had did so much research on, what they are, how healthy they are for your hair, the long term, just everything. And so
Mm-hmm.
I went to my husband and I said, what do you think about Sisterlocks? And he was like, oh my goodness, I would have never thought you would have wanted locks. And I'm like, really? And so he was like, yes, I am for it. I am for it. So it began the process. My lactician, who was also my favorite person in the world, my best friend, she
Yeah.
installed me, and she said, you should really become a lactician. And I was like, I can't be standing for all those hours, and I can't be doing all them heads. And she was like,
Yeah.
yes, you can. Yes, you
Yes.
can. And
Yes.
so a year later, I said, maybe I could. And so I
Yes.
did. I tell you, I always say now, if I had became a lactician right out of high school, I probably would have never went to college, never got a degree. I would have went
Yeah.
straight into hair, because it's a passion that I think I overlove. I enjoy doing sister locks.
Yeah.
It's the bonding. It's the, especially when you're doing the babies, you're having someone trust you in what we as women consider a pride and joy. Women, we
Yes.
love our hair. We take
Yes.
care of our hair. And I always say, you want to get someone that's going to love your hair, love your crown, love your locks just as much as you. And if they
Yes.
don't, they're not the hairdresser for you.
Yes. And not only that, I remember, because you're taking me back now, and I remember when you when you cut your hair, you were so proud.
Yes.
You were so proud. People were
Yes.
looking at you like you were crazy. Remember when we were working? They thought you
Yes.
was
I
crazy.
remember.
But
I
you,
remember.
like, the excitement and the pride that you had in it made me look at you like, wow, this woman, she is brave. That's the thoughts that went through my mind. Like, she is so brave because, like you said, that's our pride and joy. A lot of people take years to get their hair to grow down their back or
Correct.
wherever, however they want it. But for you to do that and then just like start over, oh my gosh.
Yes.
Like, I was just like,
It was
wow.
like nothing else matters.
And then like
Yes.
I remember that day, and then like I just remember you having the locks, like you said, you went and got the locks,
Mm-hmm.
and then you started talking about how you were going to be a lactician. I'm just looking at you like
Mm-hmm.
this, like it was just the time frame. It just seemed like everything just was like so fast, so fast.
Correct.
But
It did.
you did that, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I commend you for that. Like I always
Thank
looked
you.
at you like,
Thank
wow,
you.
she gonna do what she gotta do. I always seen that in you. Like, so I'm so serious. And like,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and I'm just thinking like, what was really, like I said, from my perspective, I felt like I said, you were so proud, and I just want to know like what was really going through your mind at that moment when you was doing it. Did you feel like this was a new chapter or something like that? You know what I mean?
Yes. So the day that I left from getting my install or establishment, both words go interchangeably.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I remember coming home and I remember going in the mirror. I'm not quite sure where my husband was at the time, but he came into the bathroom where I was looking in the mirror, and I was kind of like looking around, twisting it a little bit, trying to see what I can do. And I
Mm-hmm.
remember him looking and saying, "Oh yeah, I definitely can see the potential. Those are going to be nice." And when he said that, it was just like all the anxiety that I had about them went out the door, because although the confidence still has to be in me, it was like nobody else mattered outside of
No.
him of what they thought about it.
Yeah.
And so after that, I was like, I got headbands. I started getting wraps, and I was like, I'm about to do this. We're going to slay this. And so I
Yeah.
did. But as I transitioned and went through different phases, I remember looking at myself. One time I looked in the mirror and I said, it doesn't matter what your hair looks like, you're beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
sometimes we let our clothes, our hair, our skin, sometimes scars define how we look or who we
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
This outer shell has nothing to do with the inner beauty that's inside. And I tell
Yes.
people all the time, beauty is in the eyes of the beholder.
Yeah.
I can look at you and see one thing, someone else can look at you and see another. When I looked at me, I could see this result. I just didn't know the transition or the journey that I was going to have to take, because we all take a different one.
Yeah.
But in that, it caused me to lose 45 pounds. I don't know if you remember when I first
I do.
started, how
And
heavy I
that's
was.
another thing. That's another thing. Everybody was just like, when I tell you, I was, because you know how the teachers are like, it's like
Yes,
high school to me. It's like high school.
yes,
And
yes,
I've never been the one that cared. You know me. I don't care about the gossip. I
yes.
don't care about the rumors.
I
People
think
come to
that's
me.
how we connected.
Yes, that's exact. Because I'm like,
Yes,
okay, like what? Does she let her do her? Like, and you was looking good to me, but they was like, she's losing all that weight. And I'm like in my mind, okay, I need to lose some weight. What's going on? Like, like
the
you was
sister
doing
rock
you,
journey. I
and you
tell
was
people,
listen. Yes,
it's not a hairstyle, it's a lifestyle, and it truly changes your life. It changed my mindset. It changed how I eat. It
yes,
just changed how I looked at things. Your perspectives change on top of maturing.
yes,
I keep telling people, I said, as I'm getting ready to cross over that threshold of 40, I
yes,
see my life in a different, light, because you
yes,
spend the first 40 years of your life learning. And although it seems like, at 20, 25, you got this, I remember the elders used to say to me, baby, just keep on living. And the more
yes,
you keep on living, the more you see life change and your perspective. Things that you said you would never do that you find yourself doing. I never, listen, when I used to see people with locks, I'd be like, I just don't understand how they wear their hair matted like that. I never understood the concept.
yeah,
I
yeah,
never understood the different types of locks. But I was a child. So as I grew up and I learned, it's a journey for your hair, it's a journey for your life. And as we already know, this life is a journey. So I just
Yes.
enjoy it.
Yes, I love that so much. And then like you have your, like I was saying earlier, your videos on YouTube. You tell us about how to take care of these locks. You like when I watched them, I really enjoyed them, like I said, and they're very informational. And when we're done, I'm going to make sure I put your page and hopefully I could tag the link in there because like you really some things that I had no idea I'm learning from you
Mhm.
because people ask me, I do hair like as a little side hustle, but it's
Mhm,
a
mhm.
couple of his that I do locks basically. And when I tell you, I'm learning through you basically. Like I know the little
Good, good.
techniques, but when there was one video where you said you should put the rubber band at the end when you're washing. Girl,
Yes.
I'm like, what?
It's I understand that on YouTube you have so many videos. People go through their experience and they document it, they blog it.
Yes.
Um, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. What
Right.
I do notice is that a lot of times you don't have a lactician like me coming on saying that this is correct. So whatever method someone is using and then people are following these videos and they're just
Mm-hmm.
basically mimicking, then you just have that domino effect.
That's
So
right.
what I'm trying to do is just create a platform that people understand, okay, I'm certified in this. I went through the class, I went through the training, I understand this is how it's supposed to be. So
Yeah.
listen when I say the braiding and banding, the braiding, it just, even when you think about it as far as it making sense, if I braid my hair all the way down, how am I able to get my fingers in to wash it?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
you want to protect your ends and edges, but you also want to make sure you are cleaning your scalp as well. So
Yes.
it's just understanding the concept. I never say anyone is right or wrong because right or
Right.
wrong is a perspective.
Yes.
And unless it is an actual fact, I can't say that what someone is doing is right or wrong. I can
Right.
give you what I've learned and what the correct way that is taught. But, it's kind of like that. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. So I can
Yeah.
tell you, but if you don't use the advice, then there's nothing else that I can do. But I'm getting a lot of feedback, people who didn't know certain things that are like, wow. The definition segment that I did,
Yeah.
understanding the terminology,
Yes.
because a lot of people, they hear these terms and they're like, oh yeah, I got bunching. Oh yeah, this is budding. And it's like, honey, no, but it's not their fault. They don't know.
It's
And until
not.
you
It's
know,
not. Right.
you don't know. So I'm just trying to
Yeah.
teach. I'm trying to teach.
And I appreciate that. And then that just brings me to like I really feel like you are teaching me. And the thing is sometimes like I said, it's two reasons why I really enjoy your videos. The first one is the calmness of your voice. It's just I look for stuff like that. I learn like that. When people like yelling and screaming, even when I was in school, I didn't care for the teachers that talk so loud. It's like you're
Yeah.
disrupting my mind in a sense. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm,
then the
mm-hmm.
second thing is your background. When I tell you, I sometimes, and I'm being honest right now, sometimes, and I did this in school as well. Sometimes I will zone out and my head literally be in the clouds when I'm watching your video because, like I
Oh,
said, it's
wow.
so calm, it's so peaceful. I hear the birds, I hear the breeze. Like I'm thinking now about your videos,
Can you
and
hear
it
the monkeys
soothes
in the
me.
background?
I hear everything. It's so soothing to me. Like I love nature. It's I'm so serious. And I really be watching you, like, and I be zoned out. And I swear I'll zone out. And I'll just be thinking about the future. I just be thinking about me doing some hair. I just be thinking about so many things. And then I'll snap out of it like, hey, what'd she say? And I rewrite it back. It's like, you know how when you in school, you just say, well, like,
Yes.
like that's
That
all.
meditation, you go into that meditation mode.
I really do be in that. But like what I'm saying is I look forward to that because that's what I get from it, and I learn that way. Whether people think that when you zone out, you're not paying attention, you're not learning. But
Correct.
I'm learning that way because if what you're saying is allowing my mind to go to another level or another,
Mm-hmm.
basically hid in the clouds, I'm learning for real, and I
Yes.
appreciate that. So what I'm saying is I thank you basically, for
Thank
having
you.
these videos.
Thank you. And thank you for your feedback. It's so funny because I had asked a few people, I said, you think I should change the background? I said, because what if one day one of the monkeys run by? Because sometimes they sit on the gate. And I said, and then people won't be paying attention to me. They'll be looking at the monkeys in the background. And so I said, sometimes the car sound. And she's like, I
Yeah.
love the nature sound, So I
Yes,
said,
it's
okay,
amazing.
unless I get some feedback that says, it's just too loud or too much, maybe I'll just continue with that. So that's good to know and
Yes,
hear,
it
that
is.
you
I
enjoy that as
appreciate it.
well.
Yes, I do. I really do. You're, like I'm saying, to me, you're a great teacher, you're a great tutor, you're a great mentor in this, and I feel like you should
Thank
keep going.
you.
It is your passion. I love it so much.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
like, okay, so let me see. So, oh, that's what I wanted to know. How did you get into managing Callie Day? Because when I watched her on Terrell's show, I swear she's on my playlist now because of that. Like, she can
Wow.
sing. Oh my gosh. And it's
Yes.
the
That's my
gospel.
Auntie Callie.
Yes.
Yes.
How did you get
So,
into that?
about 4 years ago, so I'll just give you the background. When I was born deaf in my right ear. So as time, and let me not say deaf, because deaf meaning, no hearing at all. I had 75% hearing loss.
Yeah.
So throughout life, I went through not really realizing that I couldn't hear or that it was a deficit, but just going through life with a hearing deficit. So about 4 years ago, I decided to get hearing aids. And so once I got hearing aids and everything and could hear, I've always loved to sing, singing. And then someone told me, they was like, you really have a real nice voice, but you are all over the place. And I was like, really?
I'm
Like, I
offended.
was just in shock. I actually wasn't offended. I was just in shock because it was like, you couldn't tell me I couldn't sing. And so, and so, because it is a passion and because it is something I like to do, I sought out voice lessons. So my very last vocal teacher was no longer going to be getting lessons. So she had recommended me on one of Callie's live.
Yeah.
And so I watched the live, but at this point, I had no teacher, maybe at this point for about 2 months. So I watched the live and she was saying that she's still getting vocal lessons. And so I was like, So the following week I signed up with her and I've just been working with her ever since.
Wow. Wow. I like
Yes.
that. That is so
She's an
amazing.
amazing person. She's just very good, excellent teacher. Excellent
Yes.
teacher.
Yes. Would you work with
Yes.
other people outside of her or no? Would you consider it?
Absolutely. I would consider it. I would definitely consider it. I never even considered this with Callie. It was just something that, one day we were just doing our lesson and I said, Callie, how come your Facebook following is so much lower than your Instagram? So we kind of had that conversation and I said, I'll do this for you. And
Yes.
since then, her page has just doubled and, it's doing
Yes.
really good.
Yes. I like that. That is so good. That's like, because some people do like certain areas of their life they're good at, but then you can help them basically expand in another area, right? Is that what
Yes,
you do?
yes,
Okay, I like that.
yes,
Okay, good,
yes.
good, good. So basically, guys, y'all see who y'all can go to now. I'm putting y'all on to somebody real quick.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
So I want to know, what would you tell someone who wants to achieve as many goals as possible? How would you encourage them? Because like you're doing so much. How would you encourage someone to keep going and doing anything that they want to do?
I say, and I'm sorry if it sounds cliche, but write the vision. Write the vision. And when you write it, don't write it with just the intent of I'm writing it down and it stays on that paper. You now have to make that paper come to life. So take those visions, even if it has to be one thing at a time. There are some people who can multitask, and there are some people who have to just do one thing at a time. Whichever one you can do, put your focus, time, and energy into that. What I realize and I've learned is that sometimes we look for cheerleaders. Sometimes we look for, even within our spouses, you look for that goal. in doing the YouTube and now being a platform, I realized, you know, even if nobody likes your page, even if nobody likes anything that you do, you still keep doing it. You know,
Yes.
and you'll notice over time things will change. Nothing happens overnight. You know what I'm saying? You know, even a butterfly goes into is a caterpillar and goes into a cocoon for some time before it comes out beautiful. You
Mhm.
know, you have to go through a process. And I would just say, if it's a million no's, there's a yes that comes in there sometimes. Sometimes we get weary and discouraged in every no, or every what looks like disappointment, or every what looks like, and I say what looks like because sometimes it's not always a setback, it's just the process. And
Mhm.
so what looks like a setback may be discouraging, but if you just say, you know what, and there's so many influencers out there. I look at like someone like Tabitha Brown. You know, you look
Mhm.
from where she started to where she is. And
Mhm.
she said that she never expected this kind of fame. You don't go in expecting, you just go in with the goal of. And as
Yes.
long as you achieve those goals, then you set the next one. If we set a goal to say, I want to get, let's say, 100 followers by the end of the month, and I'm
Mhm.
just using this as an example, by the end of the
Mhm.
month, but you only end up with 50, so you say, you know what, I'm not doing this. No, because then the next month you might end up with 200. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's, you don't get discouraged in the midst of because you didn't reach your goal. You just now may have to adjust it.
Yeah.
Now you see, okay, maybe this wasn't a reasonable goal. You know, so speak to yourself, reassess, realign. You know, you have to do what makes you happy, because if you do what makes you happy, you will put your best effort, you will put your all, and you will do it because it's what you want. That's how I was with Sisterlocks. Once I went with Sisterlocks, I was like, everybody here I do, they're gonna be fierce, because I was going to take my time, which I do. I'm very particular about parts, you know,
Mhm.
and I want people to walk out of that chair and say, I love my hair.
Yeah.
There's so many people that I've done their hair that when they sat in the chair, they're like, oh my goodness, I already bought a wig. Because if I don't like this, and when they've left out of my chair, they're like, I'm not putting that wig on, or, you know, I'm going to give it to my sister because, you know, I can't take it back, things like that. And I'm like, I tried to tell you, you know, so
Yes.
listen to
Yes.
yourself, listen to your inner self. What is your inner self saying? If your inner self say do it, then forget everybody else. Do
Yes.
it.
Yes.
Do it.
I see somebody saying hi. Hi. So basically, I like that so much because it really does matter. So you really take pride. And I'm the same way. Like for me, if I do your hair or if I do hair, it's not even about the money so much. It's just about the
Yes.
way I want you to feel. I want you to feel good
Yes.
when you leave. And if you don't, then I'm mad at myself. But that's not going to happen. That's probably not going to happen
Yes.
because I'm
Yes.
putting my all into it. Like you said, I'm putting all my effort into it. And yeah, I like that because you really want somebody, like you said, you really want somebody who'll care about your hair as much as you do. And clearly you do.
Absolutely.
Yes, I like
Absolutely.
that. I really do.
Absolutely.
And this is like a personal question for me, but I'm still gonna ask it anyways. So I just want to know, um, like I said, was saying earlier about the peace that and the feeling that I get from your videos. Is it like that in real life? Basically, do you feel that yourself when you're surrounded your atmosphere?
Yes. It's almost like you're in the conversation that my husband and I had just recently. I said, I enjoy waking up in the morning and the greenery that's around me is so peaceful.
Mm-hmm.
When I get up and I do my workouts, it's like the cool breeze in the morning with the trees blowing, and you see all of nature, the butterflies, the monkeys, the cows, you know,
Yeah,
just walking freely. That
yeah.
is just like we've lived, or I've lived in a world with so many restraints for
Mm-hmm.
so long that
Mm-hmm.
I tell people that living here is like living, if you remember what living in the 80s, the late 80s, early 90s was like,
Mm-hmm.
when you could ride in the back of a station wagon with no seatbelt, or in the back of a pickup
Yeah.
truck, you know, with it's that kind of freeness. And so when you wake up, you feel it. And so you
Mm-hmm.
exemplify it because you're
Mm-hmm.
living in it. It becomes you, it is you. So you
Yeah.
live it and you walk it. And so,
Yeah.
yes, I feel it.
Wow, I like that. And like I said, I feel it through your videos. It makes me because, and another thing, I love the water. I just love nature. I love the trees. I love all of that. And even animals, as long as they keep their distance, I'm all right. But I love watching them. Like,
Yes,
oh,
yes.
don't come too close. But basically, I feel like one day I would love to live in an atmosphere like that. And it's so crazy because I was talking to somebody how I want to live near water. But like they're thinking like, oh, you want a house on the lake, and I'm reaching further than that.
Beach.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not. That's no. We need to give. I want more than that. You know what I mean? I want something
Hmm.
more. And like I said, seeing your videos just helps me to realize that it is achievable. It is reachable to get something bigger than just a lake on a house at the beach or whatever like that. I really like that a lot. So, like
Thank
I said, you're
you.
an inspiration to me. And I know I gave you a hard time in the beginning, but just understand that's I was
No,
like,
listen.
I don't need no friends.
But you know, it's so funny. I remember when you first said that to me, you was like, I just stay to myself. And I
Yeah,
said, it's no problem. I never pushed, but I knew the energies matched.
yeah,
I could
yeah,
just feel your
yeah,
energy.
yeah,
And I think that's why even when we were at work, we could have good conversations, but
yes,
that was like kind of the stop.
yes.
And I don't know kind of when it kind of really, it was like it just naturally kind of
It
flowed. I
did.
don't really
I
know
opened
when we
up.
kind of,
I
yeah.
Something
It
came
was
over
just
me
like
like, you know,
once you
she don't
get,
mean you no harm, right? And I'm like,
mhm.
okay.
It's,
Because
I
you
think
don't
when you
know. You
allow
don't know.
people the time, when you allow people the time, and especially when you're not looking for anything or
Mhm.
to take anything from someone, I realized that if it was just work, it was just work.
Yeah.
But every time I had a conversation with you, whether I was, relieving you for break or just helping you for the day, it was just always a good connection. So I'm
Yes.
like,
Yes.
okay, that's somebody cool. So I remember
Yes.
having a get together at the house and I'm like, I'm going to invite her. And so when you came, it was just like, okay. So I think that was kind of the breaking
That
ground a
was
little
it
bit.
too. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Because I
definitely,
don't know.
definitely.
It's funny because people just think like because I stay to myself, they think I'm like stuck up. They think but to me, it's like I'm protecting my peace. I'm protecting my energy because I don't know. I don't know who's who. And then like
Hmm.
you don't. People been through different things in their life where you don't want
Absolutely.
to. I can't just open up to anybody because you might take what I
Hmm.
say and go twist it, or you might take my
Absolutely.
energy and use me for my energy, and I don't like that. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
that's why I was, being precautious. I was
That's
very
also
cautious.
self-care,
Yeah,
self-love.
and
You're
it is.
protecting
Yes,
yourself.
yes,
But then keep it in mind, you don't want to have a steel wall up that when
yes.
someone or something that can be good for you, it can't even get through to even show you
Exactly.
at least a shadow of who they are or what they
Yeah,
are. I think that, trauma has caused, within our communities, within the Black communities, a lot
yeah,
of hurt and pain. And even when you tie it back into hair, this is why sometimes we as women, we go through so many different phases with our hair, so many different changes, so many
yes,
different colors. It's
yes,
the personalities and the healings and the releasing of things that we are dealing within ourselves that we bring out to the outer appearance. And in
yes,
doing so, it reflects in our hair, our clothing, our jewelry, how we talk, how we walk. So if you move peacefully, people will believe you're peacefully. If you move, rah, rah, people are going to be like, like they only know what you give them and what they see. And
yes.
that's why I love telling people all the time, let's use love for an example. Don't tell me you love me
Mhm,
because I can say it. I can just meet you today and say, I love you.
mhm,
But if
mhm.
there's nothing behind it that puts in the work to show it, then you're
Yeah,
merely just speaking words. And I say the same with your hair. If you say, oh, I want locks, oh, I want to go natural, oh, I want to do this, oh, I want to lose weight, anything like that that pertains to you, but you
yes,
just keep saying it, you don't even look anything up, you don't ask any questions,
right.
you're not really looking to make the change. It's almost just mere words that you're speaking. But when you put actions and you put it to forth and you move and you do it, whether the outcome is what you want, at least you showed that you want that or that you're moving towards that. So
Yes,
it's all
yes.
within us. We
It
hold the
is.
keys to what we do and the decisions we
Yes.
make.
I like that. And it's true. It's very true. So I have to ask you this question. I cannot not ask you this question.
Okay.
What does head in the clouds mean to you?
The first thing when I think of Head in the Clouds and when you first did it, the first thing I thought was peace. And the first song that came to my head was John Legend's So High.
Mm.
And, it was just that you literally can go to a place. You know what I'm saying? I know in the song he says where lovers go, but it can
Yes.
take you to a place. Your head in the clouds can be whatever you imagine. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
That's the cloud. It's
Yes.
kind of like that thing that sits there that you store. It's kind of like our phones has the cloud. It's
Yes.
what's stored there. It's where that piece is. It's where you save those things that, maybe I like using India Irie's song, The Sacred Space,
Yes.
So when I first seen the flyer and heard you saying it, I was like, that was literally the first thing that came to mind. Now, understanding what you do, those are still some of the same thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing I would add to it now is I think it allows collaboration. It's almost like unity to me, bringing in so many other people to promote on a platform to encourage, because now with us going into this new world of the metaverse and all of these new things,
Yes.
everything becomes, in this digital world,
Mm-hmm.
or the electronic world. And so, or in this cloud of space.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just kind of like walking into a different space now. So that's when I think of Head in the Clouds, that's what I think of.
Yes, I like that. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
that. Thank you for that.
Yes.
Because it's like every I, everyone has their own perspective, and I can relate to each and every one of them. And it's like you said, you could think one thing, but then someone makes you add more to it. It's like,
More
it could
to
go
it.
this way, or like, yeah. So that's like every time when I talk to somebody, I kid you not, my definition always increases because I know what I started off with. I wrote it down, what I thought it was before I even, started asking everybody. But as
Yes.
time goes on, I'm just like, it can still mean this, and you can add this to it, and it's just amazing how that one phrase
Yes.
can mean so many things to so many people. So
It's a perspective.
it is. So we gotta go down memory lane. And I want
Okay.
to ask you, what is something that you haven't done but plan on doing? And it could be anything, especially like on your bucket list or anything. What is something that you haven't done but you plan on doing?
I haven't gone to Madagascar, and I plan on doing that
Yes,
soon.
yes.
Um, there's so many things like that I think of more so now. It's funny. So when I was on the other side of the world, it was like, oh, I can't wait to go to New Orleans, the Essence Fest, all of these things, Bermuda. Now I'm like, I can't wait to go to Madagascar. I can't wait to go to Cambodia. I can't wait, like you start looking at all the things on this side.
Yes.
I don't really have, like, some people make bucket lists, and I don't really have a bucket list. I kind of just let life flow, because today
Yes.
I might want this and then tomorrow I might not want that.
Yes. Yes.
So for right now, the big thing or the picture that's in my head is Madagascar. So
Wow.
that's
Wow.
kind of
I
that's
like that
the
though,
one
because
thing I
that's
want to
making me
do.
think like, hmm.
Yes,
So
yes, yes.
here is your time to let us know everything that you're doing, where we can reach you, where we can find you. If you have anything that we can purchase or anything, this is your time to let us know.
Thank you. So currently, I am a Queen's Crown, and I am on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, and TikTok. On a few of the platforms, it is the at loyal to my crown, the number two, not the word TO. You can also reach me at crownherwithlove at gmail.com. My YouTube name is A Queen's Crown. So if you type in A Queen's Crown, it should come up. And I believe that is all. I'm not selling any merchandise as of yet, but that will be coming. I can't say soon, because when you say soon, people expect soon, but it is in the goal, the plans, and the
Mm-hmm.
goals.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that's all my platform that I'm on at this time.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much I'm so excited for you. Like I said, I love
Thank
the journey
you.
that you're on. I've been watching from like close up and now I'm from afar, and it's very prosperous. I love it, and it's inspiring and motivating for
Thank
all of
you.
us.
Thank
I
you.
feel like, well, I know it's inspiring to me, so I thank you for it, and I love watching
Thank
it because
you.
I know it's just going
Thank
to be
you.
even more. And then are you letting your locks get down to your all the way down? You're gonna let it grow, or are you gonna
Yes,
let it?
I'm gonna, let's see if I can, I'll move the camera back. I don't, because you haven't seen me in a few years, so my
Mm-mm,
hair is,
mm-mm.
let's see if I can show up.
Wow.
Okay, I'm gonna raise this up a little bit.
Hmm? Wow. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That is
Yes,
really
they
long.
are.
That is really long. Wow.
I
And
just
all I'm
celebrated
thinking,
7 years.
7? You said
Seven.
7? Wow.
Seven.
Wow. Oh
seven
my
years.
goodness.
It's a journey. It truly is.
Yes.
I remember when my loctician, I kept saying, I don't want my hair to get long. I don't know how to do long hair. So I kept
Yeah.
cutting it.
Yeah.
And she said, if you cut your hair one more time, I was like, what do I do with this? So now it's so funny because now I'm like, there's so many styles that I can do with it long as there were styles that I could do with it short. I just
Yes.
didn't realize because it wasn't long, you know.
Yes.
So
Yes.
definitely, it's
That
a
is so
journey. It's a
good.
journey.
Yes. Yes. I'm like, to me, I feel like I want to get to that stage one day, but I might not get to
Hmm.
that stage. But I do want my hair down my back, though. I know that much. But I'm
Hmm.
getting close because
Hmm.
I'm all natural, and even going all natural is a journey to me. Like it's a process for me because especially when you're used to waking up and your hair just straight and you could just throw it and do what you want to it. Now it's like you have to really care for it. And I have really thick hair, and it's just taming it, it's a lot. It's a lot. So that even though I know it's still whatever you do with your hair, it's going to be a journey regardless. So it makes me
Hmm.
wonder, like,
Hmm.
maybe I can, maybe one
Listen, do
day.
you remember when I used to say to you, girl, you should do it? You should.
I remember. And I'm
Listen,
just thinking,
it
like,
will change your life.
yes, yes, I'm thinking about it. I really am. And a lot of people, like I said, one of the people that I do is my brother's, and he done had locks a couple times, and now he's getting into it again. So basically, uh-oh, I'm sorry. Is that me? Hello? You okay? You okay?
Can you hear me?
Yes. Everything okay?
Okay. Yes, we have a storm going on, so it just
Oh,
knocked the power out.
goodness. Oh, goodness. I'm like, oh my gosh. Okay. All right. So,
No, it's all
are
good.
you gonna be
Oh,
okay though?
there it is. Oh, yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Oh
It's
God.
okay. It
Okay.
does it from time to time. Here on the continent, they don't have obviously the same resources as the West. So
Yes, yes.
sometimes it's just,
Wow.
life living on the
Look at
continent.
I'm happy I experienced that. I was just like, wait a second. It just went black. What happened? Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay. But you're okay. Everything is okay. Nothing's gonna
Yeah.
affect anything. Okay. All right.
No, we're
Okay,
good.
good. But I thank you so much. And like I was saying, I appreciate you sharing the journey with us. And like I said, I'm still gonna be looking forward to every video that you post because they're so
Thank
informational.
you.
And I want everybody to go follow your page, subscribe to her page. I'm putting everything down in the link. So I hope you have a good, I don't know, is it morning or night for you?
Yes, it is morning. It is now a quarter to 4, so 3:45 a.m.
Wow. And it's 7:44 here. Oh my
Yes.
goodness.
Yes.
So
So we're
yeah.
8 hours ahead.
Wow, that is crazy. Oh my
Hmm.
goodness. I thank you so
So
much.
we're already in Monday.
Yeah, it's a new
Yes, yes.
Oh my goodness. I'll never forget because it was a saying I used to get worried when I was a kid about waking up in the morning or seeing a new day. And I forget, I think it was one of my grandparents that was like, well, it's already a new day and another chance, so you what you worried about? And I'm like, oh, like it's, you know what I mean? You have to
Yes. You
you
don't
worry
grasp the
about stuff.
concept until you get here.
Yeah.
Like, even when I'm trying to make calls back home at times, I'm like, okay, I have an app on my phone that shows me Buffalo time. So I'll
Mhm.
look and I'm like, oh, okay, this is not the time, you know. But then the funny thing is when people call here, they just call. So I have to
Yeah.
keep my phone on do not disturb every night so that I don't just get the random calls because
Right.
people don't realize the time difference, but it's all good.
Oh my goodness. But I thank you. I thank you so much. And like I said, I'm praying for you and I'm praying for your journey. I know God is gonna bless you the way He
Thank
has
you.
already been doing. So you're just know you're included in my prayers. So I
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Appreciate that.
No
I
problem.
appreciate you. Thank you so much for having me on. I appreciate all those that came on. And
Yes,
just
thank
thank
you.
you for this opportunity.
Yes,
And
you're
it's
welcome.
good seeing you. It's
It's
so
nice
good
seeing you
seeing
too. And
you.
we did not get that. We did not get that lunch date, that dinner date, that last one. So don't be surprised if I pop up on you up there.
Listen, I'll be that way in a few months, so we'll just have to make a
Really?
date.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Okay.
Yes, we
That sounds
will.
good. Well, I
Yes,
speak for you.
yes.
Have a good morning and enjoy the
Thank
rest of your
you.
week. Yes.
Thank
See
you.
you.
Take
Bye.
care.
You
Bye
too.
bye.
Oh my goodness. I'm so excited. Thank you guys so much for joining. Thank you for tuning in. She is so amazing. I suggest you guys go follow her, go subscribe to her page. It's the vibe for me. It's your vibe for me. Do you see me out there vibing free?